Welcome, mindful performers. Cecil Buchanan here. Today's topic for vlog every day in August is what have I learned after 31 videos doing the vlog every day in August challenge. I will say that one of the valuable lessons that I've learned is that you don't need to spend a bunch of time editing. You don't need to spend a bunch of time worrying about the lighting or content's pretty important because you want to you want to have something interesting to say. But right now I'm using the lighting from a window. I have a small light that I use sometimes if I'm in my office, and that's relatively easy to take care of as long as you're conscious of it. So a lot of times just knowing the things that are important to make a video watchable. For example, right now I'm not using a tripod and I'm using my knee, so it's probably something that would annoy some people. But this is the last video and I'm traveling and I'm working at the same time, so I think this is a good way to brace it as much as I possibly can. And who knows, my phone might actually fix the jumbling a little bit on its own because it does that nowadays. So that's what I've learned, is that you really can take the time. If vlogging is something that you aspire to do, you want to create a channel, you want to have your own content, then the most important thing is to just start and generate your ideas and generate the topics that you want to speak about, knowing who your audience may be, knowing who would be called to listen to your advice or what you're covering. Or there's so much out there to do on a video channel or on YouTube that it's just taking a little bit of time to get clear. But don't get paralyzed by thinking that you need all this right equipment or a camera or a special camera, a special microphone. It's just not something that has to happen for you to start. It's usually just an excuse to avoid actually getting started. And I find that that's the case with many things in our lives when we're looking at change, or if we're looking at starting something new or adding something new to our routine, is that we often will think of all these things that we need to buy or training that we need to take or books we need to read before we actually start doing it. And I'm listening to a book right now called Paths to God by Ram Dass, and he talks about the fact that all that knowledge is great because it starts you off on a path. It starts you off on thinking about things. But that the knowledge, if you keep jumping from knowledge to knowledge to knowledge without really embracing and being the knowledge, it's difficult to move to a space where you realize that that is usually the tip of the iceberg, especially when it comes to spirituality, on what there is to know. And the further you go, that you realize there's no way to know anything. That's not wisdom. It's just things you learn in a book and you regurgitate. And that there's a greater benefit to taking the time and having your own experience in whatever it is you're doing, whether that's going out and climbing a mountain or racing in a mountain bike race or traveling the world or setting some record or vlogging or whatever it is. The best thing you can do is to allow yourself the experience of doing that thing, because you learn and you grow and you change and you make mistakes and you keep on growing, and you learn that resilience is important and that you can use any setback or any perceived failure as a jumping off point to the next step and a new way of doing something that you've tried. So wow, that was a lot about what I've learned over the last 31 days. I didn't expect all that to come out, but there you go. And lesson learned for many other areas of my life, and I hope that this is valuable to you to apply in your life. As always, like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel. And I'm going to let you see the view out my window right now if I can. Let's see, how does that work? I don't know if it actually will work. I guess I can. I can do this.